Alright, welcome to the channel. Something different today. I am going to create game content for you. I'm tired of the terrible menus, so we're going to do a menu tutorial. Called it LOL, the menu, the game. Now, I've been trying to drive home the importance of making good menus, menus that work. If you're using the controller to play the game, the menu should work with the controller. And the mouse. If the mouse works in your game, the mouse should work in the menus. It should be a good experience for the user. So I'm going to blast through all of the setup here and just create a title scene and a game scene. The game scene I won't use. It'll just be there in case I use this project for more stuff later. And I'll add the canvas and the event system. I'm adding a background and a title image. I'll go ahead and make the background good size and then import my assets. I have one image, title image, the script for the controller handling, and the font. Again, I am just blasting through everything here. This is not a full-blown tutorial on how to do absolutely everything in Unity. I'm assuming you know what some of these packages that you need and how to do the basics. So, making myself a spiffy title. Now, again, I've been complaining about this a lot because this takes me out of a game, when especially if it's a game that supports controller, and then you have to use the mouse. You have to use the mouse to navigate. So I'm just creating a button here, and then I'm going to add an outline component to the button to make it look, to make it pop, as they say. It's going to pop nicely when it's selected. Then I'll go ahead and just copy my button. And I'll have two buttons. Now, one thing we'll look at here is the package manager. You need the input system package. So input system, make sure that that's enabled. That'll enable the D-pad. If you click on the documentation, you can go look around in the docs. The thing that we're concerned about here is the controls. And if you look down through the controllers, you can see there's a gamepad.dpad control. And if we, there's a bunch of properties and stuff in there. But if you go to open up the script, we'll take a deeper look at this later. But if you look in the script here, you can see in some of my update logic here, you can I use the gamepad.dpad functions that are provided there. So you need that. The default does not recognize the D-pad. Go ahead and uncheck the outline on that button. So the default doesn't recognize the D-pad. The default will only recognize the analog stick, and that is why we need that package. So moving on, we will now add an empty game object and make it the menu handler object that we are going to attach the script to. We simply attach the script. I will upload the script, and the link to the script will be in the description. The script has these public-facing arrays for holding the menu object, so we're starting off with just the main title menu button, so we can add the start button and the quit button, and the start outline and the quit outline. And once that's all loaded up, we can check the game out, and it works. D-pad moves left and right, and everything is right with the world. Now, the good thing about doing it this way, I know some people do all this crazy, like, hard-coded stuff for their menus, but when you create your menus or buttons as arrays, it's very easy to insert and modify the menus. So you can see I'm just going to clone a button here, make it the options menu. All I got to do is then add it to the array, put it in the proper order so that the buttons cycle correctly when you're navigating through them. And then there you go. So bing, bam, boom, navigating nicely with the controller, with the analog stick. Now I'm going to add a panel here, add a label, and clone another button. And we're going to make this the back button. So back in the manager, we'll add this as an options button and the options outline, and then we want to add the panel because we need to be able to enable and disable the options menu when it's pressed. And you navigate around, start and quit do nothing, options opens, and back closes. So that's all working gloriously. If we take a look into our script, we can go through here. You can see we have our arrays. Below that, there are the private variables that basically control the state of the menus. So you have, the index of the current button selected for both menus. There's only one button on the options menu, but if you had more, there'd be more to go through. There's a horizontal input state because when you use the analog stick on a controller left and right, it actually updates. The frame update will capture many instances of the horizontal movement, so you have to basically set it like if it gets moved a little bit, it counts as it's being moved, and then when it resets back to 0, you can then move it again, so that prevents it from just kind of like rapidly scrolling through all the options. So you can see there's that horizontal pressed that I have there as a check, and then going down through, we have the options toggling. There are methods for moving the selection when you move with the horizontal stick, the D-pad, or even the left and right on the keyboard. It accepts all those inputs. It basically just uses the modulus to iterate through 0, 1, 2, however many options you have. There's the late update for when you use the analog stick. And then we have some bonus content, a couple of debug things that I got to remove there, and then we have mouse functionality. So here are my menu listener and option menu listener. They listen for mouse over to highlight the buttons, and then on click sends the button event just like if you select it with a controller. So when we go back and didn't make any changes there, it's just kind of a Easter egg at the end. But if we use the mouse, it also works. So same deal. It hovers, it highlights on hover. So this is a way that you can use both the mouse and the controller, make your users happy. Be sure to get the link to the script from the description of this video, and see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and make good menus.